I am going to show you how to create a pattern within Adobe Illustrator and also scale up and down all within the shape.
So here I have just a bunch of different shapes. These are all vector shapes that I can still move around. So to make a pattern, you just select the objects that you want to make the pattern with, and then you go up to Object, and then down to Pattern, and then Make. And this will bring up the pattern making setup. So within here you have full sort of customization of how the pattern will look. So you can still move all these around, which is fine. You can go in there, you can sort of name the pattern, you can change the different sort of style of pattern that you want. I tend to go for the hex by column. This sort of pulls up a little hexagon and you can sort of, it kind of sort of just pulls everything a wee bit more closer together. But as you can see, some of these shapes here are sort of overlapping with each other. So we can just go into the pattern tool, tile tool, and then you can slightly make this wider. That just gives it a wee bit more sort of space between each of the shapes. And then once you've finished with that, you can still go around and you can move things about. I like to sort of make sure that everything is sort of evenly sort of like spaced out between each other. So yeah, so once you're finished with it, you just click done, and then that is your pattern made basically. So you'll see it down here in the swatches panel. So we could just get rid of this just now. I will go to the rectangle tool and just create a rectangle just now, and then under the swatches I can click on my new pattern that I've just made, and here it is, done and dusted. But I might not be happy with this. I might not be happy with the size of them. I might want to make the sort of the pebbles look smaller. It's easily done. All we have to do is right click on the pattern and then go down to transform and then scale. So this pulls up the scale option for this particular shape. If I will go and scale this down, you'll see that I'll scale the pattern within the box, and it leaves this really unsightly sort of border running around the edge. To get around that, all we need to do is untick the transform objects box, and then that will basically make this pattern a continuous pattern behind the edges. So we could just scale this up or scale it down, however way we want it. And then once we're happy with it, I'm quite happy with that, just click OK and then you're done. So that is how you make a pattern and scale up and down within Adobe Illustrator.